Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to show you how to use your media center, your media infotainment center. So I've talked in another video about how to use the infotainment center that's in front of you, and please forgive me if I'm not using the exact correct terms, because I have sold other vehicles in the past, and so I think different brands call it different things. I think it's pretty obvious what I was talking about before, the infotainment center that's in front of you. This one's going to be your actual media center. Let's just skip over to this and show you how this works. I'm going to give you a very general overview of how this works on the Chevrolet 2019, for all intents and purposes, 2019 Chevrolet truck. This is going to go for pretty much every single Chevrolet that we sell, with a few different options on different vehicles, such as like the Spark and things like that, but most of them are all going to have the same setup. So I'm just going to kind of go over the basics. You can really get deep on a lot of this, and I don't really want to do that for the sake of time, but today I'm just going to kind of show you how to kind of just generally navigate through this. So let's talk about just the basic functions of it and how you can navigate through here. So a lot of it's pretty obvious. This is your music. This is your phone, how you access your phone. This is for your navigation. Wi-Fi hotspot, users, settings, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. You can scroll over, trailering system, backup camera, or the camera angles. They have different apps. This is your My Chevrolet app if you want to connect with that. OnStar, Marketplace, and Climate. That's just kind of just making it obvious of the things we're going to kind of briefly go over. Let's say you want to listen to some music. Well, you're going to go right on here. You're going to tap the audio right there. And then now it's showing that you're on FM. 96.9 is what it's playing. We'll just turn it up a little bit. Yep, car commercial. And basically, if you want to go to a different station, you can do that. Go forward or back. You can go to tune, and it will actually let you enter in the exact station that you want. Or you can go to the next one. For example, Bluetooth. Right now, I don't have a device connected, but if you do have your phone, you can get on there and once it's connected, you'll be able to go through and play the music from your phone. Sirius XM, right now it's not turned on. It tells you your radio ID, so when you call them, you can let them know. They'll hook it up for you. You get 3 months free on any used vehicle, by the way, just throw that in. But you do have to call them and activate it. And then we have AM as well. All right, so anyway, that's briefly on that. You can go through this. We'll get into that on another video, because that's not really basic. Now the phone, another way you can do this, you're going to connect it right here, of course. I'll show you how to do that in another one, but this kind of just shows you how to navigate through here. You can look at your favorite people, people that you've talked to in the past. Your keypad, you'll be able to enter in who you want to call, the recent people you've called, and then of course any other phones that are connected on here. And you can push that emergency, and you can get directly to 911 or whatever. Now this right here is a home button, takes you right back to the home. Now let's say you don't really like touching the screen, it's just like kind of makes it more difficult for you. Just push this button right here, that little home, looks like a house. Push that, it always will take you back to the main screen again. Here's your navigation. Now navigation is pretty simple. It'll take you to this or something similar to this. You type in where you want to go. You can either type in an exact address by putting the numbers and everything like that, or you can even just put in a place. So let's say you're like, I just want to go to Starbucks. Where's the nearest Starbucks? Shows them all right here. You just put search. Let's turn it up a little bit, see if it talks to us. No? Okay. Shows you all the nearest Starbucks. There's one in Norman. I'm in Blanchard right now, kind of scroll down. There's a bunch in Norman. Oklahoma City. Just pick the one you want and then go. And obviously the other way to use this is just to type in the exact address or something close. So let's say you go back on here. You can go to food, coffee, ATMs. It's all gonna give that. So anyway, another video, but just kind of give you an idea of just kind of getting started with it. just a starter video on how to use this. That's how it goes. And there's your map. It's actually, you can actually turn that map on anytime, and you can just kind of see where you're at when you're driving. Zoom in, zoom out, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go back to home again. There you go. This Wi-Fi hotspot is actually only activated whenever you get OnStar and you're going to pay for to keep your Wi-Fi. So it may be like 15 to 25 bucks a month depending on which plan you have, if you have AT&T, etc. And you can and this is just going to allow you to change your Wi-Fi name, your Wi-Fi password, things like that. And you can hook up devices, to it in your car. If you're a person that's always on your computer, or your kids are always using an iPad or whatever, this may be helpful to you because you won't have to use data. As long as it offsets, because you're going to spend 15 to 25 bucks a month. If that would have cost you a lot of data, then this may be really handy for you. So it does have that capability. All right, users, this is basically just like profiles and usually it's kind of connected to different keys, but you can also just, if you had a few different drivers or whatever, you could set up your profile and put, you start just creating it, or whatever. Looks like this is for OnStar or whatever, so it may only work for OnStar. As you can probably tell, I never do this. It's not really something that a lot of our customers really have been super interested in. It doesn't mean that they couldn't, so I'm happy to do a how-to video on that. If any of you want one on it, just let me know. All right, let's go to the settings. Just kind of scroll through here and you can kind of see what you need. Let's just say privacy, for example. Do you want your location service to turn on or off? You can turn that off. Voice recognition, it's going to help you with your navigation, things like that, or with OnStar. But voice recognition sharing, it's kind of interesting. I never have actually looked at this before. I usually just go to things like time and date, set that up for people. And this is things that I usually don't go over whenever I do we call it a delivery, after the people buy the vehicle, we kind of go over things just because it gets really bogged down in a lot of things. So some of this I haven't really dived in too deep on, but let's see what voice is. Oh wow. So confirm more or less, you can basically just so it controls how often the voice recognition system asks you to confirm commands. So in other words, it's not going to be like, oh, okay, so did you for sure, so you're saying you want to go to Starbucks, is that right? It's like, hey, I told you that's where I want to go, please don't ask me again. Anyway, you can kind of go through here, and for me to really dive into this, I'm probably going to need to do another video. I just want to kind of show you where all this stuff was, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the way those work, you basically have to obviously connect your phone, but on the brand new ones, it's through Wi-Fi, and only certain vehicles are like that, but you can actually connect it, not through Wi-Fi, I'm sorry, through Bluetooth. But with the with all of the other ones, since I think it was 16 up till maybe 20 or something like that, and again, maybe even some of the 21s are still going to be this way, you have to connect your vehicle or connect your phone to this right here. This is a USB port, of course. It'd be just like you're charging your vehicle. So you're actually going to hook your phone up to this as if you're charging it. And if you have an Apple phone or an iPhone, it's actually going to light up. This will light up, and it'll ask you permission on your phone if it can use your location, if you can use Apple CarPlay, etc. You say yes, allow, whatever, and then you'll click on this, and you'll be able to see a really neat system, which we'll go over another one on how to use Apple CarPlay, but it allows you to use Apple Maps. It uses Google Maps, things like that, and really and truly, if you have this or the Android Auto, you're probably not going to use the navigation here, just because this is something you're already used to using so much. And it's a lot easier to use. Not that this is bad at all, but you're just already so familiar with this, and you can even put it in on your phone, and then it'll just show up on the screen. It'll look kind of like your phone usually does. So it's a great system. With Android Auto, keep in mind you're actually going to have to download an app called Android Auto for that to actually work. Not a big deal at all. But it's the same thing. You'll plug it in down at the bottom. It'll light up and everything. But you do have to download the app on your Android phone for that to activate. Trailering, there's a couple of nice features on here. You can actually set up different, profiles for your trailers and things like that, and where you can do a checklist and things to make sure you've checked everything off. Is the hitch securely mounted, trailer connected, all that kind of stuff. And that way you're good to go before you go on your trip. So it's just a neat feature. Camera, that's just an easy way to get to it without putting it in reverse. That's your backup. If I turn the wheel, actually it's going to just move kind of which direction this is actually going to go. So that's probably, you're pretty used to that, I'm sure, but or most of you are. You got your trailer. If you're trying to, I'm turning the wheel right now, you could back up to like a hitch, and or like, you know, like a hitch on a trailer, and you can actually line it up a lot easier with that. And then once you get really close, that little button right there, you see it right there, that is actually your hitched on your truck, and you'll have your ball sticking out of there. It'll be right there where you can see it, and you can get really accurate, and it just allows you to be able to do a lot of this without somebody guiding you. And I mean, most of the time you're always gonna have a guide, but just in case you don't, this is set up for you that way. So we're gonna go back to home now, scroll over again. A lot of these right here, if you want to see how-to videos on them, let me know. It's not something I usually deal with that much. The apps and stuff like that, you do have to have, like with I think a lot of this stuff is you have to use OnStar, or you have to be connected in some way. You may have to. I just never see anybody use this. I'm sure, you know, this being out there, people go, that's crazy, I use it all the time. A lot of our customers don't really get too deep into it. My Chevrolet, you have that on your phone, so we use it like that. OnStar, you have it up here. So a lot of people just push it right up there. This is another way to access that. You can call, you can do all this kind of stuff right here. And that's a whole nother thing. And then of course, you know, climate is just a digital way to do the same thing that you would do down here. So you can, it's off right now, but I could actually turn it on and do that. And I can do everything digitally. So anyway, that, and then see, I'm on the main screen right now. If I scroll over, it's actually gonna show the navigation and like what station I'm on. It's just like another little screen. So that is a basic idea of how the media center works, I'm gonna call it. And so if you have any other questions on that, just let me know. This is a very basic overview, but hopefully that makes it easy, at least when you just buy the vehicle, or if you just want a very simple walkthrough of it. That is probably the way I usually do it whenever I show people, you know, especially right after they buy the vehicle and they've already spent like an hour or two here and they don't really want to go through everything. They're burnt out. That's usually what I show them. To really get into detail in a lot of these, I can do other how-to videos on that. But anyway, I hope this helped you, and I apologize for things that I don't know. There's things that hopefully can benefit you on this one, and things that you want more information on, just let me know. I appreciate it. Thanks.